Vibe Show 97.9. It's going down tonight. Real official. I'm super excited about tonight. Listen, we have a legend coming on the show tonight. I'm really excited about this. So listen, get your cups right, get your popcorn, and y'all make sure y'all keep it locked in. Y'all already know the vibes. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. Ooh. Vibe Show 97.9, home of the most exclusive guest on the planet. And tonight we have an amazing guest joining us on the show tonight. I'm super excited. I'm super excited. I'm your host, Kano the Don, the Vibe King. Y'all already know the vibes. I'm talking about Dove Award recipient, producer, singer, songwriter. Let's get this clear. 44 times RIAA certified platinum records. Listen to me. 11 gold records as a supporting vocalist. I'm talking about the one and only, the queen, Sherree Patrice. Man.
That's quite the introduction.
What's up, queen? How you doing?
Hey, Kano. I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Listen, excited is not even a word for me. I'm on this cloud, and I've been floating on this cloud ever since this connection happened. So from me and the Vibe team, the whole Vibe brand, we just want to say thank you so much for just giving us some of your time.
Thank you for having me.
How you feeling?
I am good. I am great.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know where the Fountain of Youth is. I'm still trying to find it. Obviously, you know where it is. Can you share it with me and tell me where the
Oh,
Fountain is? You look amazing.
dipped in God's glory. Hello, and Him keeping me. Amen.
Thank God's glory.
Counts honor. Yeah, seriously.
You
That's
look
it's.
amazing.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
though.
I
You
was.
really
Yeah.
look amazing.
Thank
So
you so much.
now I got so much stuff that I want to talk to you about. It's so much. I want to start though because singing, singing is something that a lot of people inspire to do, but at the same time though, I would like to know, was this something with you that ran in the family, or like where did you get bitten by the bug? Where did it start? Let's start there.
Well, my first inkling for music comes from my mother. She's a trained classical pianist, and she grew up. Uh, let's see, she was at church. She was a choir director, and that's what started. I think, and then I have my dad's side. They're pretty musical too, but not going after it like that. I have one uncle that's like he loves music, but I found out later that my mom was actually adopted, as she comes from uh, a jazz lineage, which is Gene Ammons and Albert Ammons.
Mm,
That's her father and her grandfather, and my biological grandmother was a jazz singer. Her name was Belle Starr, and so they were in Chicago, and I think he played in with Quincy Jones and he has a whole litany of family that I've never met, but that would explain my love and attraction to jazz.
So it's safe to say you grew up in it.
I was born with it. Yeah,
Bloodline, bloodline.
yes,
I knew you was a
it's just in there.
bloodline. I knew it. You ain't just jump off the porch with vocals like that now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
man.
even with all of that though, even with all of that, like at what point do you discover like your talent? Like, you know what? I have it. I want to do this as a profession.
I knew I had it. Now, whether I wanted to do it, I went through a phase where I didn't want to do it. I was like, "What is this?" Uh, you could pay me to sing in front of people when I was
Really?
younger. Oh yeah, I was just not, you know, no. But I kind of discovered it a little bit when I was in kindergarten,
Mm.
and I was a bit of a tomboy.
Really?
Yeah, I was, yes, I was. And I remember being in this, how each class have to do a little talent show or something.
Right, right.
And it's just emotion that's taking me over. And I just got kind of lost in it because, we didn't really have a lot of secular music growing up in our house, but I would hear it like on the radio out in the street. So some songs I would just pick up on. And I got to sing this song, and I was just on the back row singing my little heart out. Nobody
Uh,
ever knew. And I really wanted to be on the front row,
right,
but I was just in the back with my, doing my time, boy, just in the back, just not knowing. So I knew I had something special then, but had no idea what to do with it because I was just playing basketball and jumping fences with my brother. That's all it
wait,
was
wait,
doing.
wait, 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 wait. Plan. So you was a baller?
I was a few things. I did big wheels. Me and my brother, we rode hard. I had cousins. They were all boys. I was the only female I had cousins on both sides of the family, and we just rolled. I rolled with them. We didn't. And my dad, I
Right.
would just roll with them to the gym, to shoot ball, and that's what I was doing. I think my mother was trying to beg me to come and put this dress on and do something. I just wasn't. I just wasn't.
Right,
I just hung out with them. And then, I got older and it was like, okay, go play with your friends. Go get you some new friends.
right,
That's what
right. Don't you miss those days looking at 2022 now, that what we in now?
yeah. And I have, children too. So the younger two didn't get the experience of just really going outside to play like that without we having to be out there. You know
Right,
what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, I
yeah,
miss those days. I do, to answer your question. It was
right,
it was free and jumping out the swing and hide and go seek and kickball in Chicago streets. That was what I was doing.
right,
Jumping out of
right.
swings. Yeah.
So, Chicago though, let's talk about that though. Looking back, things always have been rough. Um,
Oh yeah.
talk to me about your experience though, growing up in your time though.
So I was raised in a Christian home, and
Mhm.
all I really knew was school, home, and church.
Right.
That was it. And I went to we were the holy people on the block.
You said the holy people on the
Yeah, it
block.
wasn't really fun back then, but
Right,
we would try to be bad, and it just wouldn't work out for us very well. But
right,
it was our block was a mixture of things. Our block it wasn't the ghetto, it was the hood, if that
right.
makes sense to you.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
there was a lot of interaction on our block. We we did skating, jump rope, all those types of things. But and then
Right,
there, we had our gangs and stuff, but thank God I never really had to encounter those things in our neighborhood. But most of the time I spent a lot of time at church.
right,
And then going to a Christian school, which was very strict and a little bit on the legalistic side. We will talk about that another time. but that was my upbringing: home, school,
now,
church. That was
now
it.
interesting though, the writing ability though,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say, you know on at what point of the timeline that you discovered that you can actually write as well, because that's a big, huge part of your career as well.
It is. It is. So I learned that from my mom. My mom would write songs in the that we had a piano in the dining room, and then we started writing songs together. And then when they would go to work, we would kind of latchkey kids. So I would just sit at the piano and write songs. I think I wrote my first song at, I want to say like 11.
Really?
Yeah, somewhere in there on the piano, and I thought I was jamming too.
Right. Because you can play too, which I
Well,
love
yeah.
your videos, because you really be flexing on your videos. I mean, I gotta tell you that you be
Well, I
flexing
mean,
with your videos.
creatives. What else are we gonna? I'm creative,
I'm
so
like, ooh.
they should have never created social media because I always have just a plethora of things going on creatively in my head. Let's try this. Let's go shoot a video. I always have a lot of stuff
Right,
going on.
right.
So yeah, thank you for that though.
Absolutely. You know, so now on the path of all of this, you know, getting into the entertainment business though, because as a child and being around and hearing that you grew up in it, so you definitely a bloodliner, but um getting into the business part of it though, were you was that always the vision though, to head in that direction with it?
I just knew I was born to sing. I
Mm.
knew I was when I saw Star Search, that's what I wanted to be doing. And I kind of had this battle. It's funny with my parents. Like, put me on Star Search. I want to go on Star Search. They're like, but you need good grades. And I was like, no, I want to,
Right,
I want to
right.
sing. So I would go to school and sing. That's all I wanted to do. So I didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't know how it was going to happen, especially being in Chicago in the hood and in the
Mhm.
church world. So I started to get a little taste of um, that. I started off like in the Soul Children of Chicago, which would be kind of in front of people and getting out and doing other things outside of church. But happenstance would have it that my family, my parents got a divorce, and my mom relocated to California. And
Mhm.
that's when it started. I was singing my way through the rest of high school and talent shows, and finally, after I graduated, I moved to LA, and that's when I started to meet different people and start singing demos and getting together and write. And I had all these songs that I had written in this book, but
Right.
they had songs that they wanted me to sing. So that's basically how I got started singing their songs. And when they would go
Mm.
have meetings with record companies, it was so frequently that they would know my voice. They'd be like, "Oh, who's that?" They would be like, "Oh, that's
Right.
Sherree Ford," Then later it was Sherree Ford Paid, and so they already knew. So they ended up just keeping. They would send the demos to the artist to learn,
Mhm.
and then they would keep my backgrounds because they were
Really?
pretty. Most of the producers were pretty much honestly, producing the song with me, really, as the model, or that's why they call it a demo. But they would have their singers follow it exactly to a T. Some of the artists weren't too happy with that. They want because the producer was stuck to the way it was done.
Mhm.
So,
Right, right.
and I wasn't even thinking about it like that. I was just working and happy to be getting paid. But they ended up keeping the demos, and that's how I started. First record was Jamie Foxx. That was the first professional record.
Now, one thing I'm not going to allow you to do on this platform
What did I
is run past these names now.
do?
So you just
What me?
said Jamie Foxx, because I just
Yeah.
want, Cherie, I want people to understand, how in depth this is. This not just no, you know what I'm saying? I want them to understand who's on this platform right now. Greatness. You know what I
Well,
mean? A legend. Like I'm saying, like it's I don't know who you haven't worked with, but we're gonna get to that because the list it just keeps going. But Jamie Foxx,
yeah.
so you know that hold up.
I do have a funny story. When you say that, it makes me laugh.
I was gonna ask you.
It's a funny story.
I gotta have it.
So, so I moved to. I told you I moved to actually North Hollywood is where I was,
Right.
and I was staying with my cousin Dale, who worked at Paramount Pictures at the time.
Hmm.
So I used to have this. He used to let me ride his bike. I used to ride this bike in the neighborhood,
Right.
and to get to and fro to where I was supposed to be going, be it to the gym or to work or whatever, I would be on this bike going against the grain. I was completely breaking the law. I had no idea. I was doing my Chicago riding. in the
Right.
streets, right? And um, his roommate at the time, one of the roommates, grew up and went to school with Cuba Gooding. So we would be
What?
riding in the we would be riding in the streets, and I would see them from time to time, and he's telling me, "Yeah, I want to be an actor one day," and I was like, "Yeah, I want to be a singer one day." So fast forward 10 years, maybe 10 years later, we were at Muhammad Ali's 50th anniversary or something to that degree, and Cuba was there, Jamie was there, we were all there. Now I met Jamie uh, at my first talent show. I went to a talent show downtown, I mean down in Hollywood. I just,
Right.
joined this talent show and I won the talent show. So he was like, "Well, hey, come to Fresno with me and come sing, open up the show for me and whatever." So we just, we connected that way. And then then he had me sing on his record. So that's how I ended up on his show. But 10 years later, it's crazy. Here we all in the same place, and Jamie remembered who I was, but I had to remind Cuba. I said, "Remember, we was in this,
Right.
And he was like, "Oh my God." I said, "Here we are." He goes, "So why? What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm singing background with Mariah Carey." He was like, "What?" So he had just won his Oscar. Jamie was there doing his thing. I think he had just did the Ray Charles movie or something to that degree. And then my son at one point was working at Zara, like maybe last year or so. And
Right.
Jamie comes in and he goes, "Hey, my mom." He was like, "Who is your mom?" And he was like, "Sherree Forte." And he was like, "What?" So it's, the cipher keeps rolling around, that I think he told her that I was a good person or something like that, which I thought was great, because character is great. It's good when your character is good, and that's what people remember. The beauty of your character. That's a blessing because that
Right.
means they see God. So that's good.
I
That was
mean,
a rant, but
like
that was fun. I have so many stories. Hilarious.
y'all, so throughout this interview, y'all just be prepared. It's gonna be a lot of names that's, she's just, that's they just coming out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just coming out. I mean, I'm trying to maintain my composure here. I mean, so now, the move from talk to me about the adjustment though, because
From where?
going from Chicago to, LA, what was that experience like for you? Because I mean, that's a whole different culture.
I'm South Side all day. A little softer version because it's weird because I really didn't fit into Chicago, but I still had that edge. You know what
Right,
I mean?
right,
I wasn't like a thug in the streets or anything, but Chicago girls, Midwest girls just have a thing.
right,
So when I got to California, I'd never really been around anybody other than Black people. All I knew was Black people, and maybe my teachers may have been white, but that was about it. I didn't really interact, uh, you know, multiculturally at all.
right.
So when I got to California, it was just everybody was so happy, just like, "Oh my God," and yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really like strange. I thought they were crazy at first. I
Right,
was like, "Y'all are too happy," but I think it's the sunshine and the vitamin D. That's what I think
right,
it is.
right.
So eventually I became like, "Oh my God," like in high school. And I would I would call back home and they would be like, "Yeah, so that's not gonna work for us. We need something
Right.
straight." But yeah, I thought culturally it was an adjustment, but I knew it was a new beginning and I knew that I was closer to my calling and
Hmm.
I would pray to be rescued out of the hood per se and out of religion per se.
Right.
And I just wanted out, the life that I had, so
Mm,
uh, I began to seize the day. It wasn't easy, but
right.
the sunshine and just the beach and the water and it was just new for me, something I had never known before. Yeah.
Let me ask you this though. You said rescued from religion though. Can
Yeah.
can we
Oh
touch on
Lord.
can we touch on that a little bit? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I want to know.
So, oh yeah, this is hard. Okay. So there's when I say religion,
Hmm.
I'm I grew up thinking that that religion was a way of life. And it is a way of life for some people. They don't really have an intimate relationship with
Right.
God. You know what I mean? Uh, there's there's really no grace. There's really in certain instances, not every this is not everybody's experience, let's be clear. But um I just got to know God on a different level
Mm,
than what I seen. What I
right.
saw was people um, knowing but not living. I saw people, they
Ah,
didn't have grace for themselves. They didn't have choices. They did what they were told. There was a lot of abusive things happening
hmm.
in the church, and so I think that a lot of us are awakening now and healing, and learning to embrace God on a different level, learning the God of grace and not one that's always of consequences, and an angry God, a mad God. All those things exist, but he's just so much more than what the rules and regulations that most of them weren't even following themselves. And I'm not judging, because I'm minding my own purpose. I'm minding my own
Right,
stuff.
right,
I said minding my own well done, to give an account of my life. So
right.
I'm speaking from my life, and not honestly, please hear my heart. I am not judging the church. I'm not judging people that I grew up with. I just learned later that I held people to a certain well, I was taught to hold people to a certain bar and put them on a pedestal. We grew up that way, and
Right.
so because they were a pastor, or different things, or an evangelist, or things like that. So um, I learned that people have different gifts and different anointings and different callings, and there's a level of respect, but the ultimate reverence goes to God.
Right.
And so to embrace part of his character as showing love and grace to people is really, really important. And in certain instances, I didn't see a lot of grace. I experienced a lot of judgment, unfortunately. But
Hmm.
it's, we, we,
Right.
we, we, we made it through. We good.
Yeah, we absolutely did. I appreciate you touching on that. I just felt like that was important,
It is. It
to
really
touch
is.
on, because especially in the business that you're in,
Oh, yeah.
talk to me about that though, because to begin to do it on that level when opportunities are opening up, and you're doing all of these amazing things or
Hmm.
whatever. Talk to me about the business aspect of it though, the learning process for you with that, because so many people inspire to want to get in the entertainment business, whether it's acting, singing, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it always seems to be that the same end story. You go on, you do a lot of amazing things, you sell millions and millions of records.
Hmm.
You're excited to sign the contract. You know where I'm going with this. Like, talk to me about learning the business side of it though.
So I have a whole lot to say about that, but let me see if I can condense it. I I'm just trying to teach my children now that want to pursue music that
Right.
um, the education that I fought so hard not to get, that I
Mhm.
just wanted to go right into high school. I didn't realize that right into the music industry. I didn't realize that that process was to grow discipline,
Right.
to us for us to experience discipline, and so we would be able to handle whatever career we were going to. That's what school really was about, and a lot a lot of us coming up in my day suffer from ADD.
Right.
So and didn't know they didn't have a diagnosis for that, but creatives normally get diagnosed with that. Uh, you need that skill set once you go into the industry, because you still need to learn your craft, and you literally hand your life over to someone else to manage. So you're signing all kinds of stuff and don't even know what you're signing.
Right.
You never really learn the business, and that's really what I call artist trafficking a little bit.
Mhm.
You just
Oh,
they
that's the
they
first time I heard that said like that.
it's horrible. It's artist trafficking, and they put you out there. They prostitute you. You have really no say. You just go do the work, and they get paid pretty
Right.
much. So, and that's not the fame, and it's the, your family and friends watching you grow and get on certain things, but not learning the fundamentals of the business, or resources available to you as a musician,
Hmm.
such as residuals and
Right.
things outside of singing on the record, knowing how to fill those contracts out, those things are really, really important. However, today, most of that does not exist. It's not exempt due to the digital
That's a
world.
fact. That's a
You
fact.
don't know what's playing where, but anyway, that's a whole different subject. Getting back to the subject at hand with the kids today, I really want them to really embrace being CEOs and learning, putting that energy that they thought they were bypassing in school, because some of
Hmm.
them probably won't go to college,
Right.
but their CEO of their business is their college. So to learn everything that they can about copyrights, everything that they can about music publishing, the splits and how they work, that's really, really important. Getting an attorney, which is kind of hard these days, but
Right.
you know, uh, there's a plethora of things that they can do to protect themselves, which is kind of why I sell my music from my website,
Right.
so that I can see. I always say, put your sales where your eyes can see. And I'm also streaming as well, because this is a new day. You can't do without that. But I'm trying to really awaken, especially my children, to do the same, and
Hmm.
to maybe set up to where they can go perform and make deals with the different venues, to say, hey, this is what I charge. This is, you can make money that way, opposed to counting on really a numbers game, which is really likes and shares. And as my platform is growing, I'm excited about it, but it's not making me money at this present time. It's just likes and shares and views,
Right.
and I'm happy for the what's coming, that it's growing. At the same time, it's not producing the sales and the income that we used to be able to make. We made thousands and ten thousands of dollars doing singing on records and writing. And that's just, I had somebody call and ask me the other day, hey, my daughter, she wants to be a background singer. How can she, and then my son even asked me, hey mom, do I want to do write songs. Can you? I was like, wow, my circle has changed so much. It's not even the same. That was like 20,
Right.
30 years ago.
Right.
But most everything is in house now.
Hmm.
It's not what, and these kids are right now, and I don't mean to say these kids to put them down, because I'm definitely one of them, but they're so desperate to sing on anything for the
I know.
fame, and
I
not
know.
listen in the recognition. And people assume just because they see them on so and so's record, or they drop this or that they are making money. They're not. There's plenty of artists out here that sold millions of records. They don't even, do you understand? We don't even own our masters to the album.
Mm.
All these albums that I sung on and loved, and even the ones that I recorded for my own project, I don't own those masters.
Dang.
I don't own, own the masters. The situation with Khalees, oh, is that how you say her name? Or for the
Yeah.
for the
Yeah. With
Beyonce
Khaleesi,
record?
yeah, she's going
Yeah,
hard about that.
but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna speak very lightly. But if there's a scenario of, my question was, does she own her masters? Because if she doesn't own the
I
copyright
see
to her
what you're saying.
song,
I see what you're
she's not even
saying.
going to get the money anyway.
Yeah, they can do
Whoever
whatever
owns
they
it,
want to do with it.
yeah, which might be Pharrell. Pharrell may own that particular song,
You
and
know
they
what,
may have
Sheree?
gone
I
to
didn't
to
even think about that because I
you
was
know what I'm
like,
saying?
yeah, yeah, Khalees, because I'm geared up. I'm like, here we go, let's
Right.
go. You know what I mean?
I
And
think
then
it's more the principle.
now, hearing you say that,
Yeah, I don't
that's
think
a
she owns.
whole nother flip in it, though.
Yeah, because Anita Baker just got her masters
Yeah,
back
she
after
did.
all those years.
Thank
Just got
God.
them back. So meaning that she can't make the she doesn't get the full, she doesn't own the song that I wrote. So that's why I always ask my kids, like, why do you want a record deal? Because it's basically, you're basically just getting a loan up front,
Uh oh.
and you're never
Uh
going to get
oh.
the deed to the
Come,
house.
come, come on, Ree. We not finna go there with it, huh? This
You're
what I'm
not going
talking about. You about to get
you're
me
not going
fired
to
up
ever
now.
get
You about
you're
to
not
get me
ever going to
fired
get the
up.
deed to the house.
Talk
You say,
to
oh,
him
that's my
now.
house. You driving people
Yeah.
past your house, going, oh, that's my house. I just bought this house. But it's not yours. You
Mm,
paid for it. You paid the money
mm.
back. They gave you the money up front to put the down payment down and all that. But you're never going to own the house. You got to wait 10, 20 years because they want to get all of the equity out of the house before they give it back to you.
Oh.
So So getting a record deal is not what it's cracked up to be. It never was.
How long? How long did it take you to and I know you're speaking from experience.
Yeah.
When did it hit you though? Because one thing I love to take advantage of with having people on seasoned like yourself that's been in the game for a while, seen a lot, experienced a lot, always try to get those gems to be able to share, because right now it's seeming like in 2022, in this space that we're in right now, that's all people want to do is be an artist. No, nobody's aspiring to be anything else. It's just everybody want to be an artist now, or be in the entertainment business in some type of way, and that's cool. But I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, um, jumping out there without acquiring the knowledge or picking up gems like somebody from yourself. People, there's so many stories out there. These are not fictitious stories. These are people are really putting their stories out there, and some of them are really really sad because, like you said, these are they're making these companies millions and billions of dollars, and these people don't have
Artist
nothing.
trafficking.
Artist trafficking. That's the new. That's the artist trafficking, guys.
But it is artist trafficking. They send you out. They tell you they teach you how to perform. They tell you what you can and can't wear. They pick your image for you,
Hmm.
and then they put you out there. And people and before people they decide what they want to do with you, if they want to purchase you, if they want to become fans or
Dang.
whatever. It's just you literally they literally line you up and say take your pick and who's hot this week.
How do you
You know,
win though? Because the way it's set up now, it's almost to the point now to where, remember they had that we went into this independent space for a while. Remember, independent was independent, the independent artist was winning, and the
we
labels,
were.
and then all of a sudden the labels figured, you know what, we'll just buy the streaming services then. We own that too
Yeah,
now. We'll
it
buy that
was
too.
more so during the pandemic because the level was the plane was even.
It was even.
It was leveled, and
Right.
so then you got all the celebrities coming online, and
Right.
that became more appealing. But the independent artist was winning underground because you could tour and sell your CDs and just keep it moving. It wasn't really
Right.
about the fame; it was about us wanting to work
Exactly.
and own our craft. It was a business. Like Master P. Master P sold CDs out of his trunk.
Exactly.
I have another a friend of mine, Cy Smith, and she was touring and well, she was like singing background like on American Idol. She was in Rick and Minor band, but she had always been independent. She just keeps it moving. She booked these gigs and travel all over, still do the big gigs, but she just kept working, and that always inspired me. It just took me a long time because I do have a large family and lots of stuff happening, but it took
Right.
me a long time to finish my first independent record, which it was gospel actually, or a
Mhm.
different type of gospel. It wasn't like church. It was
Right.
something else.
Right.
But
Right.
anyway, yeah, it's we can still do it now. It's just harder because now where we are, which is something I didn't get a chance to do a lot of, and when I just started to get into it, the pandemic happened.
Right.
Is to perform live.
Right. Right.
That's where you are able to make a living because you
Mhm.
can charge tickets. I did it free for a year here in Austin just to try to get some things going, and just now picking that up. But it's now the thing to do is all artists have to tour now because you can't really count on your digital sales. I think it's like 0.9% or 43%, something like that you
You
can't get paid
already know.
per stream.
Exactly.
So I'm like, so what is people are always asking in your business? So what is your goal? What
Right.
what 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 is your end game? As my husband like to say, or do you want likes or do you want sales?
Hey, hey, I know that's right.
You know
Shout
what I
out to your
mean?
husband. Shout out to
I
the
mean,
king. Vibe
do
Show
you want likes or do you want
97.9.
sales?
We
Right.
just in here vibing out with the one and only, the legend, Sherree Patrice. Listen, I gotta go pay some bills. I know. Don't be mad at me. Don't judge me. I gotta pay some bills. We'll be right back with Sherree
All right.
Patrice. Y'all keep
Awesome.
it locked in. with the one and only Sherree Patrice. We just in here vibing. Look, I hope y'all got y'all tablets out or recorders or something, or taking notes, because this is important. Now, it's just so interesting. And I love the space that we in right now, because we in a real space right now. I like the space that we in right now. Um, you know, it's just amazing though. 44 certified platinum records, 11 gold records.
Yeah.
Like, I want to take, if I could, I wish I could just walk in your mind. What mentally though, and congratulations on that as
Thank
well.
you. Thank
What,
you.
what does that feel like? What does that feel like to you? These are huge accomplishments. As we can see on the back wall, we got some stuff on display, and I'm pretty sure it's plenty more of those. But
On the other side.
exactly, what does that feel like for you though? Like right now, asking you right now.
I feel like, well, let's be clear. I didn't even realize how much work I had done
I
until
figured that.
I figured, I mean, I moved to Texas and I call this my promised land, right? It's where I just kind
Right.
of get to sit down and examine my life and find out where God wants to take me next. But as I started putting together the discography, and I think I said, wait a minute, it was like 150 something plus records on the Excel spreadsheet.
Right.
So we have the dates and the record companies and when they were released and all those things, right? And then we broke them down into categories. So all of those, there's jazz and there's R&B and pop and country and gospel and CCM. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. But when it came, I never got the plaques.
Really.
I never even thought to when you have 6 kids, you're not thinking about
Right.
stuff
Right.
like,
Right.
and back then they gave them to you, but now you have to purchase them.
Wait a minute.
You have to purchase them now. They don't give them to you anymore. But you cannot purchase you only if you're certified and they can verify that you can't just go making plaques.
Right.
They have to be RIAA certified. So as far as like the Dove Award, that was given to me. That was mailed to me. I didn't even know what it was when I got it. Actually, I was like, "What is this?" And then I
Right.
then I just then I just realized uh, a couple of months ago, I was like, "This is Song of the Year. This is Urban Song of the Year."
Facts. Come
So I was
on,
like,
Reed.
"Oh." I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I won the song of because I was really happy watching the awards for someone else, and they had won Song of the Year. Was it Bruno on them? Somebody won, and I was
It
so
was
excited.
Bruno.
I was like,
Bruno
"Wow,
now.
it would be great to win Song of the Year one day." And then I looked one day, and I was like, "Babe, did you know did I have an award for Song of the Year, like with the Dove Awards?" Which
Right.
I've never even attended the Dove Awards, but I was just
Right.
like, "Wow, this is so cool." So yeah, that was that was cool. So anyway, to answer your question, because I'm pretty loaded all the time with answers.
I love it.
Uh, I am just now starting to embrace because in certain instances, I was um, made to feel like I wasn't working because I was doing what I loved.
Hmm.
I was, told that I was just going out to play. Like how your parents tell you, music is people. There's a single dime a dozen. They don't really
Right.
take music very seriously as a job, but
Right.
it's paying the bills.
Right.
Do you
Right.
understand what I'm saying? But I didn't understand that being so young, so I didn't really look at I downplayed my accomplishments. So I'm just now trying to find. I always try to be careful of the balance of how I present that I've done this or that,
Right.
and own it from a positive place where it doesn't seem like it's braggadocious or things like that. I just always want to. It's just important to me that God is represented in how I give Him glory.
Right.
From the gifts that He's given me, because I believe that how I got these jobs. Yes, I have a gift, but the way I got them was definitely him holding the doors open. They were specifically designed for me to do these things. And
Mm,
it's just, I'm just now touching the surface. Like music isn't all that I do, and music is not my purpose. It's part of it, but it's not my purpose. Do you understand what I'm saying?
yes,
So
yes,
I'm just, as far as the accomplishments, I'm learned over time that the accomplishments, after learning how many they were, I had to make the adjustments that the accomplishments don't make you. It doesn't define you. That's not your identity. So
right.
learning to work through that, and now I'm just grateful that I was like, if I died today, my that particular work is done. That was a dream that I always wanted,
Right.
and I've been in the rooms of, and at the table, may not have eaten at the table, but I've been in a lot of rooms and seated at the table, just not just a silent situation. But in most cases, I was there.
Right.
down to 9/11, I was there. Crazy, yeah.
I don't give a damn. We giving you your roses, and to us, fans, the consumers, we
Thank
love you, and
you.
we proud of you, and it's inspiration, I'm sure, for so many inspiring artists out there. So we loving it.
Yay.
Now,
Yeah.
of course, you know, um, being in the business for quite some time too. Talk to me about um, what would you say has been the toughest moment for you though? Because yeah, the lights, all that stuff or whatever, and but it also can be an emotional roller coaster as well. Being able to be in those rooms, hit certain levels and all that stuff like that too. It's still a lot of weight. On the outside, yeah, we see the
Mhm.
lights, the videos, you performing, wow, I want to do that, this, that, and the other. But the mental part of it though, what would you say has been though the toughest moment for you though, from the start of the timeline to now?
uh, Balancing motherhood,
Mm,
and I just always felt, that there was hope.
right.
Do you know what I mean? Like I I felt like at certain times I was put in the position to choose, but it was what
Mhm.
I was born to do. You know, um, and I was pretty much pregnant at the very beginning of my career, and it just kept going. I mean,
Right.
I had a baby pretty much through all of my 20s, and then I had two more after I was 30. I think after 33, so I had one at 36 and 34. So just balancing marriage and finding that balance was the biggest challenge. And like I said, if you have the model of artist trafficking that comes into play, I watched so many women that I grew up in the industry with that were hot babes, and the moment they had babies, or they got married, they couldn't be, they weren't viewed as a fantasy anymore, and so they went on to the next young thing, you know, the new hot thing, and
Right.
that became so it challenges your womanhood and kind of it messes with your identity a little bit. So making the adjustments and finding the balance to say, hey, this is not my identity. There's more to life than the industry,
Right.
So just finding that the balance. If you want to talk about industry wise, I think not reading and understanding my contracts.
Right.
And I remember going into the industry, even when it was like in 19 or 20, I used to carry this big black notebook. And if my mom would tell me anything else, she would be like, don't give away your songs.
Right.
So I'd be like, these songs are for me. So I was presented to write songs for other people, but I just was like, no, these are my songs. I wrote these for me. But you need a job. So I got a
Right.
job songwriting, and then eventually my first publishing deal, but not realizing that a deal was going to be made what they gave away 100% of my publishing, which is what my
Mm,
mom told me not to do, meaning that you don't realize you don't own the house. You don't own the house. You just,
damn.
you know, you can come in and look around, but you don't own the house.
Right.
And for a measly amount of money, and for a paycheck, but you don't really, you're not owning that. So to this day, I still don't own that music. Not only that, they took the big black notebook that I had
Yeah.
and submitted all those too. So they own all the stuff they wrote when I was a little
Are
girl.
you serious?
100%. Yeah. Seriously. You know. So those are things, and I think everybody has their experience where they get got, right?
Right. Right.
There's plenty more where that came from. It's part of the experience. And so that is why, like with my son, he wants to run off to the studio and do stuff. I'm like, babe, you don't understand. Like, you don't, who's owning what? Like, well, he's not going to pay for, he's going to let us come in for free. I was like, there is no such thing as free.
Right. We're gonna buy the beat offline, but you still don't own the beat and
You
all this
don't, you
different
don't
stuff.
own
Like
it.
it's a lot.
Yeah. And you want to help. I want to help, but you got to listen too, so
Yeah.
you just got to kind of give them their will. Their studios here, you can record here, but it's still the element of discipline that you're going
Yeah.
to need to carry forth in the independent game, more so now than ever.
Right. Mentally though, do you think that um because hearing you say that, you would think that with having a Mr. Miyagi right there with you where you could just go and just get wisdom and pull it off the tree. Did you think that it's just the younger mentality and generation? Because it's like they want the information, but they don't want the
They
information.
don't. Yeah, it's definitely not a wax on, wax off type
Right,
type thing. It's just, I know there's a scripture that it says, "Don't despise the youth."
right,
So I still try to give them their room to find themselves as I was given.
right.
Um, and they do have a different way of doing things. They do.
They
They they
really
they
do.
they really do. And I think that remember. Well, I don't know how old you are, but in Generation
47.
X. Okay, so Generation X, you may have been a little younger, but you had parents just don't understand, and we're not gonna take it, which is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the ultimate rebellion, right?
Right,
They thought it was completely satanic, and MTV was coming out, so that was us. So now they have their own thing that's their MTV. So I kind of just have to give them room to make their memories, although it drives me crazy.
right.
Listen to it and hear it. I've gone through three different phases because I have millennials and I have Gen Zs.
Oh
So
my
they
God.
all have two different types of music.
Right.
Actually, they all like different types. So I grew up listening. So um, I have to not. I have to be more supportive than invested,
Mm,
if you will, because at the same time, I still have to mind my own
right.
purpose and make sure that I'm present to the years that I have left here on earth, which are more in front of in back behind me than in front. You
Right.
know, I still want to make sure that I'm present to what my purpose, which they are completely part of the purpose, and now just trying to come up with better strategies to create legacy for them and include them in and train
Right.
them up if they're interested. They may not be interested in what I'm doing, but finding ways that I could pour into them and develop their giftings. You know,
Right.
um, I don't really have. Uh, it's disheartening sometimes because I want them to get it, but
Right.
you have to. This is. I know there's people that turn their children over to God and hand them over so they don't worry about them. In that sense, I have these. This is where I have to trust God. So if you ask me anything about about the industry and how I made it, and your spiritual foundation is so important because you can get so lost and it can't become your identity, and the applause is not gonna. You can have all the applause you want, all the record sales you want. I know a lot of artists that were just completely empty
Hmm.
because they're people. They're
Right.
people, and a lot of us can't. It's hard for us to handle the glory
Right.
of people, of thousands of people calling your name, and you never get an authentic person before you. You don't know who is,
I know.
you know what I mean? Like you always have to be on. It's like a lot of the artists that get a bad rap because of they have an attitude, or the foundation isn't there to be on all the time. We are their people.
Right.
You know, they have bad days like everybody else, and you could be very popular and very rich and very lonely. So those are the things
That's no
for
lie.
me. I want my kids. I try to say, hey, make sure you're getting therapy. You have a confidant. Make sure you're building your spiritual life. And at this point, a lot of the kids, because of the things and some of the experiences in church and things like that that they've seen, they're not interested. So I
Right.
just have to try to live my life. Um, I have to live my life of Christ before them. And you train them up, and you don't train by what you're saying. You train by what you're doing. So
Right. Right.
I'm looking for the fruit of that to show up eventually. I didn't have the easiest of childhoods, but I believe that I have a lot of good fruit, a
Hmm.
lot of good fruit from those times, and some of the things that I remember in my foundation growing up to help me through the times that people look. Just because you have a lot of bad times doesn't mean it's necessarily something that you've reaped. You know, we're always going
Yeah.
to have trial. We're always going to have tribulation. And those are some of the things that I wasn't really taught growing up. It kind of felt like if you were doing something bad, then you must be doing something bad. Or in certain, in religious institutions, that would be like, oh yeah, they don't have good fruit. We don't follow them, though, whatever. It's kind of like that. They don't really, they, it's kind of a work based situations in some instances, not all. But I grew up thinking that Christianity was a work based type lifestyle, and it's not. So I want my kids to. I don't have to preach at them all the time and make them learn Bible verses and all this stuff. I just people know love when they feel love.
Right.
They know love, and when you know love, then you'll know the main entity of who God is. It's universal.
I just love you.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew you was dope, but I mean, like just talking to you, I could talk to you all day, seriously, because it's just
Uh,
you can feel the organicness, the Hollywood stuff is not there. It's just I'm talking to a real person right now, even with all of the accolades and all of the accomplishments and everything. I just think that it's amazing. Let me ask you this though.
yeah.
You know, you've worked with so many people and you've sang background vocals for, I mean, I'm just gonna name a few of them, Whitney Houston, Brandy, Tony Braxton, Usher, Boys to Men. I mean, the list goes on. Like what's been your most memorable or your the and I know it's gonna be hard to maybe answer this, but because you've worked with so many different great people, but is it any one that or two that maybe stood out to you that you just sold the energy was right, the vibes was right working with them, like they wasn't all Hollywood, like y'all had a great chemistry together, like anything you can share with us from any of those amazing experiences?
Who am I gonna pick? um, the most the session I had the most fun at
Hmm.
was when I did the after hours album with Rasan. So that was a live session. We
Right.
did April's Kiss, and we did live backgrounds. The band was there, was Jubu, and Rasan, it was Trina Broussard, Rare, and myself, and we just had a lot of fun. And you can hear it in the songs. The name of the song is called April's Kiss.
Right.
So that's one. Then we have I Always Find Myself Thinking About You. So we just had a lot of fun, and you can hear the laughter in that particular album. Another one was I'm Keith Crouch was the producer. He was put me on all these different records, right?
Hmm.
So I was pregnant, which you're gonna hear me say quite often. really wasn't even supposed to be traveling, but I went down to do the Tony Braxton's record, which was Talking in His Sleep. And
What?
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that
Talking
record.
in His
I love
Sleep.
that
It was
record.
hard. It was, yeah, so we were just, I cut, and then I was in it was the B room of Studio 56 in Los Angeles, and I was sitting in the B room, and then Tony comes out, but I was completely unfazed because I was so
Right.
pregnant and tired, and I was just like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And then she, you
Wait
know,
a minute.
yeah, I was just like, "Yeah." And then
Like,
she sat down and she wanted to talk, and I figured out then that's when I learned that they just want people to be normal with them.
uh-huh.
Celebrities just they just want a
That's what I
conversation without
learned.
all the oh my god,
Right.
they don't like they so she was talking and I don't remember a lot of what was said. She knew that I sang on the record, but she was just so kind and just I just felt like a lot of warmth and love and some a dialogue was exchanged. And you know how they say you don't remember exactly what people say, but you remember how they make you feel.
Right.
She made me feel so comfortable and so welcome, and she was very down to earth. And I would see her later when at Face's studio when we did, I think it was Jazzy Faye. She was working on The Heat,
Uh-huh.
and she was there. So we was talking again about making pound cake and some other stuff, and
Right. Right.
it was just
Right.
real. She's very easy and just. I almost got a song placed on her once too, but and we talk on the phone about it, and it's it was just love. She was very cool. And let's see, another one was of course Brandy's first record. Brandy was an amazing is not was an even more incredible artist. I was just posted something recently. I kind of did one of her songs for fun, but 25 years old when I recorded her record, she was
Really?
15. She was 15.
What?
Yeah, she was 15, and she was just this bright, bubbly kid. Like, oh, Sherree, and then she would call me on the phone. We would talk and all these things, And I was working on my record at the time, so she would hear some of my demo, some of the records. She'd go, oh, I can't wait for this to come out, and so she just called like Sherree, like that.
Right. Right. Right.
And then Baby came out. Oh, I Want to Be Down came out, and she started blowing up. So we would, just we would talk during that period of time, and then
Uh-huh.
as things started picking up, and then Baby came out, the video came out, and she just blew up, and I was so excited for her. Over time, and I remember going to see her. Oh no, she wanted to sing. I know she wanted to sing a lot of background,
Uh-huh.
and at the time, I think she was treated like she was too young to do them.
Right.
Killing it right now. Hello. After this first record, she was like, "I'm good. I don't need no help. Thank you.
Right. Right.
I got it from here." And
Right.
I did want to clarify that a lot of people was like, "Oh, I heard, all you hear is you. All you hear is you." Well, that's kind of insulting to an artist. And she was very young.
Uh-huh.
Of course you could hear my sound, but Brandy has always held her own. Let's be very clear. And if you know that now, you definitely
Right.
know that now, But I'm just always so proud of her. I saw her not too long ago, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, in the nail salon of all the artist places. But she turned into a kid again, all over again.
She just,
Just so funny.
and I'm connecting with it more because I always felt that from her, and hearing you confirm that she's down to earth like that. Um, it makes me feel good because I always thought that. I was like, man, you know what, man, Brandy is just so cool, man, and Ray J and them, and it's just the family, you know what I mean? So that's really dope.
Now it's funny. I sing on Ray J's record too, but I've never. I maybe seen encountered Ray J once. Um, I didn't. I don't know Brandy the adult. I know
Right,
Brandy the kid. I don't know her as an adult.
right.
So yeah, she's just it's crazy. Like I know her as a kid. Yeah.
Wow. Would you say like relationships in this entertainment business is more valuable than the money? I would say that in my opinion. I feel like on my journey, um I've been able to do a lot of the things that I've been able to do based on the relationships because it kind of ties in with what you were saying. I think people don't really know what to expect. Um, like when they're doing these shows, like they always turned on, you know what I mean? And then when they come on a platform like mine, and they could just be themselves. We having real dialogue. It's not all the Hollywood stuff. It's not about the film you got out right now. Because to me, like yourself, I like to talk about, we can't forget about um, all of the accomplishments and things that you've accomplished on your journey. Those things are just as important
They're
as the new project
amazing.
that's
Yeah.
out right now. I want to
Hmm.
talk about that, like, learning were Tomeboy and all these different things that the fans don't really get an opportunity to know, because when they're doing these shows and stuff, it's either they're coming because they got a new song out, new movie out, new book out, or something like that, and they're on there for 15, 20, 30 minutes or whatever to talk about the book or whatever. But I want people to get an opportunity to identify with you, Sherree Patrice, the person, the mom, the wife, you know what I'm saying, along with all of the plethora of things that you've blessed us with, and blessed others with in their careers as well. So that's got to be a good feeling from that aspect. Of course, we need them checks to tally up. That would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. It would be nice.
Yeah,
It would be very nice.
we need them checks to
And
tally
and
up.
the only way I'm gonna see that is if you go to my website and personally download my music. That's the only way I'm gonna, because
And and
I
you
can
know
see
and
who comes on there and who buys what.
exactly. And we're gonna
That's the
put
only
that
way.
we get that website up there. Yeah, look,
Sure.
everybody, y'all make sure that y'all go and visit the website at www.sherreepatrice.com. She kept it real simple. It's not all complicated, real simple, you know what I mean? You go over there, visit the website. It's a beautiful, beautiful website. She got merch
Thank
over there. She
you.
got all types of stuff over there. You'll be over there for a while. But everybody, please go and visit www.sherree, that's SHERREE, Patrice, PATRICE.com. Y'all go over there and visit and show us some love, because she's doing an independent thing, and support. We need that. So let's support the queen. Everybody, y'all make sure y'all go over
Thank
there and visit
you.
the website right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we got to talk about this new single,
Yes.
Sweet Love.
Sweet
Sweet Love.
love.
I want to know the inspiration for it, because you're still inspired these days. Your creative juices are still flowing.
They're still
That was
going.
something else that I wanted to ask you about, because it seems like you're back in that space, back sizzling, back cooking up. Talk to me about Sweet Love.
Oof. So I first of all I have a thing on YouTube, a story. It's called a project. It's called Her Flowers. So it tells the whole story of how this what Anita Baker meant to me,
Uh-huh.
and I I started, as I explained in the story, that I had a moment where I saw Anita Baker and Patty in the same room, and I
What?
only had this amount of time. It was at a Lakewood Hathaway concert. I only had this amount of time, totally unexpected, and all I could say was, "I love you guys. You have no idea what you mean to me, and if y'all could please take a picture with me." That's all I had time to say. I said I
Oh
have so
my
much I
God.
want to say. So
I know,
because we
right?
have social media, because we have social media and all those things, I don't know if they'll ever see it, but I just with we're losing a lot of celebrities, so I just wanted her to just know what she meant to me and how she touched my life and helped me through some different moments in my life where I feel like being raised to think that secular music was bad, and if you sing secular music, you was going to hell,
Right, right.
right? That's crazy, that and ironic that I found God in mostly that more than I did in gospel music, which is crazy, right?
Right.
So anyway, getting to Anita, that was my dedication to her because that was my first introduction to a jazz of my liking, which was contemporary jazz. So Sweet Love was first. It's gone through many different phases, but I had this guy, no, not this guy, but his name is QB Smith, and I hooked up with him and we started writing other songs. I remember bringing this song to him first. He
Right.
was like, well, let's vibe out a little bit. So we wrote like 4, 5, 6 songs together, which are all out. And I brought it to him one more time because I took it to a few other people and it still wasn't where I needed it to be.
Right.
And we made magic. And so, and then I decided to do a video. So we put it out. We've tagged her a few times. And here's the thing: the great thing about digital and social, it's always going to be there.
Always
It
gonna
ain't
be
going
there.
to. So whenever she sees it, if she never sees it, I did what I felt on my heart to do and dedicate to her without the dictation of the industry, without the approval of the industry. It was always my dream. You know how they do the tributes and the person comes out and Jill
Yeah.
Scott sings her song and then Letty B sings her
Yeah.
song. I
Yeah.
always thought that I would have made it by then and I would be able to sing my Anita Baker song, or it would be my, my fantasy to go to one of her concerts and she says, "Oh, Sherree, come up here and sing with me."
Right. Right. I
Yeah,
know that's right.
but hey, this is my dedication to her. So this is my way of getting to that. I have some other singers that I have next. It's called the Flowers Project, that I want to give them their flowers
Oh
while
my
they're
God.
the living legends to get their flowers.
I
So
love
yeah,
you for that.
yeah. So QB brought it. I got my I called it some live strings with Sarah Ruff. Had my dude J Dill come in. He shot the bass, and it was interesting because QB is not from my era.
Right.
I always say era. It's Chicago. Era. QB is I think he's in the millennial stage. So he knew of Anita Baker, but through his parents. So he wasn't there. So it was great to have his perspective of how he thought,
Hmm.
how he would want to hear it.
Oh, he flipped
You
it.
know, he completely flipped it,
He
which was
flipped it.
great. So
Because look, when that beat kicked in, I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay,
And
we got a we got a
he put a little
2022
breakdown in there, and
feeling."
I was like, okay, wow,
Yeah.
that's funny. So then I was like, oh well, let's make this a little, let's mash it up. Let's bring in
Right.
all the songs. Like he probably
Yeah.
didn't even know. I said this will sound good. My angel. We put all that in, right?
Right.
So is we just made it just we just made a certain magic. When I brought it down to him, I stripped everything down that was done before, and I kept the congas and I had strings.
Hmm.
I didn't necessarily want the dun 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 sweet love. I didn't want that. So
I
he
was
just
looking
kind of
for it
just
too.
no, we didn't do it because we felt it would be too distracting,
Yeah.
and because it was already so much going on in the song with the vocals and the
Right.
arrangements, it was just clashing.
Right.
Yeah, so
Y'all did an
yeah.
amazing
Thank you,
job on that.
QB. He rocked it out. He rocked
Shout
it
out
out.
to
Now this is
QB too.
yes, QB Smith. Y'all follow him too, and his music is on Bandcamp. Make sure y'all support him that way too. Take it a further step beyond streaming because we don't know how much streaming. We're grateful for streaming,
Right.
and who really talked me into it was J. Ross, the boss. He was
Really?
like, of Soul Cravers promotion. He was like, well, I'm trying to help you, but you're not streaming. So when I take you over to the UK, people
Hmm.
they can't find you.
Exactly.
So you just kind of you gotta give and take with me a little bit so it makes my job easier. So shout out to J Ross. And it's just the way they're doing things now. So I can't be a dinosaur. However, I do know that I know y'all have y'all little memberships, but if you go to Amazon, you can't go and say I'm gonna pay $11 for Amazon for a fee for the month, and I'm gonna order all the stuff I want.
Right. It
it
don't
don't
stop. It
it
don't
don't
work
work
like
like
that
that.
now.
You can't
You
go to
know.
Starbucks and be like, oh, let me get I pay my $10 fee. Let me get the latte. I'm gonna come in tomorrow and get the same thing. You can't order.
That's right.
It don't work like that.
That's
But
right.
that's the way
Support your
music is.
people.
That's where music is right now. So
Support
yeah.
support your people, man. Stop being cheap asses. God dang, want everything for free.
Well, that's
Man.
how we like it. That's how we like it. You
I
know.
just man. Look, we giving out flowers. Let's go ahead on and give some shout outs before we close out. This has just been an amazing experience with you. Let's get some flowers out to your family, fans, friends,
Yes.
anybody that you want to shout out and
Oh
give
my
some
God.
flowers to. Let's just go ahead and take the time to do that.
Well, first of all, God's gonna come first. Okay,
Absolutely.
so I'm not gonna do the who's the head of my life, and I'm not gonna do all that. But
Right, 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 right.
hopefully, you can see him and feel him. That's important. And then, of course, my husband, who's in the other room, and they're my family for putting up with all this creativeness around the house.
Right.
Baby, it's being very supportive and just giving me room to mind my purpose and completely supporting, uh, my gifting. Um, I had some. Of course, I have great counsel, and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna put all my little business in the street, but I do have I have some great counsel, some very great friends who has helped. Definitely want to shout out the people that helped the team that came together to make the video. And the song within itself. So I try to tag everybody. Uh, we have first of all Jay Ross, who is promoting the song, and then we have
That's my
QB Smith.
guy right there.
That's
Shout out
the
to Big
boss.
J Roast, man. About what's up, man? That's my guy right there. Love that brother,
We have
man.
yeah. We have
I asked him, look, I said, man, listen, I hit him up. That's what I love about Jay. I hit him up. I said, Jay, I want Sherree on my show. He was like, I'm gonna get right back with you. Got right back.
yeah.
Like it's
Hit me
going
up. Let's
down. It's
go.
going down.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to Jay, man. I gotta get some love to Jay, man. I love that brother,
Yeah,
man. Good dude. He support people, man.
he does. He really.
Great
I
guy.
like his passion for the artist, and he's very knowledgeable of all, especially the now I'm gonna call it old school music, but real
Mhm.
music,
Yeah, he does.
and music
Everybody
that
he's
we grew up
promoting.
on.
Everybody
Yeah,
he's
it's really
promoting
good.
and sending over to the station is just it's that good music that make you feel good. It's just man, I love it.
It is. It is. So we have QB Smith,
Mm-hmm.
of course, the producer, the co-producer is me, and I like to shout out to Sarah Ruff who did the strings, Just Right who was with me in the foundation of what we were doing before. So we ended up, he left his percussion on there,
Mm-hmm.
Jay Deal on bass, Refuge who mixed, and QB mixed as well too. QB's multi-talented. Then we have Kevin Butler who did the mixing. But this video was hilarious because I had this whole concept of a bride preparing for a wedding and being in sweet love,
Right.
right? So that's what the concept of the video is, of preparing. So uh, I took it to a very good friend of mine, Cheryl Richter, and you know, just learning over time that your it's the people that you have around you, they all bring different giftings and things like that. So
Right. Right.
Cheryl's very good at order, and so we did a shot sheet. I did some research. People told me you can't do a video with your phone, you can't. I was like, yes you can, yes you can. I doubted it. I just didn't have the budget to pay for a $4,000 or $5,000 video. I didn't have it at
Right.
the time, right?
Right.
So I used what was in my hands, and the creative people that came together with that was Cheryl Richter, Nicolette, Adele, I call Nicolette Adele, Destiny, Goss, uh, Bria Abadu, I mean Abudu, I can't say that. Shooting Star Ranch
Mm.
is the location, and they were absolutely amazing. It's a venue that they have weddings at, just beautiful. We had Lily Hurtado of Crown Lily who did the hair, Desiree Hood, who did my makeup, and her daughter, Liza Hurtado. That was the team that helped kind of put everything together.
Right.
And then I call him Scooby. He came in and helped me with some, coloring, some editing, and things like that. So, uh, and this, especially at home, you know, I love that my husband gives me space to do what
Right.
I need to do creatively, and but he'll help. Like he'll help, load up the car and make sure I have all the right things, like the lighting and the cameras and the stands, and he just
That's a
packs it all in the
blessing.
car. Yeah, and then he'll call, how's it going, and when you're on your way back, stuff like that. So those things are really really important, and most importantly, the people who have supported the single. Uh, and I cannot forget my girl Deborah Anthony and Sheila Allen. Those are like some very key people in my life that have been very instrumental in helping me walk through these things,
Right.
and stay on purpose.
Stay
Accountability.
on accountability.
And
Exactly.
if I forgot anybody, please, y'all don't kill me. Yeah, but I'm grateful for everyone who has contributed and supported, who shared, liked anything. I'm so grateful because and even commented. You people don't have to do that for you. They don't have to.
That's right.
They
A
don't
lot of
have to.
people
And
pulled
all,
up.
especially all the radio and the promotion and interviews. Thank y'all too. Just ooh,
Absolutely, absolutely. I gotta go. Well, we're gonna get you set up with some more stuff too,
awesome.
because I just think that it's important. The music is amazing on the Flowers Project out.
YouTube.
We just need to definitely get all the support that you can get. So we definitely I'm gonna connect with Jay, and we're gonna try to set you up with some more interviews because we want to be able to
Thank you.
get that music out there and have people in the knowing since people are sleeping under rocks.
One more thing. A lot of people don't know that I do have a music video to Sweet Love, and it's on my YouTube channel. So you all please go and like and subscribe and check the video out. There is an actual video. Some people don't know that.
Right, and we're going, and once we get off here, everybody, let's just all move together as one. Let's Once we get off this year, we're gonna head over and we're gonna go and subscribe. We're gonna support Sweet Love. The
Thank
video
you.
is out right now. New single Sweet Love is out right now. Y'all can we can get it off the website. You also can go over to the Vibe Show 97.9 and you can request that single up to 10 times per day. Not the same person 10 times. Now it's got to be 10 different people. Now, come on now. You know what I mean? But let's go over there and make sure you can log on at the official radio station website and request Sweet Love by Sherree Patrice at www.thevibeshow979.net, or you can download the app, whatever. Just go get it. Make sure that y'all support it. Make sure that y'all also go to the official website. Go rush over there to the website right now. That's www.sherreepatrice.com. Y'all make sure that y'all go over there and support, man, for real.
Yay.
In
Yay.
closing, though, of course, it's been a lot of stuff going on in the past 2 years. That's just been just like multiple or plethora of things just happening, whatever. A lot of lives was lost.
Yes.
A lot of people lost jobs and homes, and real depressing times. A lot of stuff just going on. Everything seemed like it's turned up on 10 right now. For anybody who may be feeling low in spirit, though, can you leave them with some words of encouragement and uplift before we get out of here?
Well, first thing that came as you were speaking, there's a scripture that I love. It's called "For I know the plans that I have for you,"
Uh-huh.
one of hope and the future, and to prosper you. So just know that you are here. You're still here. As we may have lost people, they were chosen to. Their time was expired. We are still here, which means if we open our eyes, we still have purpose. That means that we still have hope. That means we still have a future. So live your best life today.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow is not promised. It's just not.
Right.
It's not. But if you're here today, embrace the grace and embrace purpose. Mind your
Absolutely.
own purpose.
Mind your own.
Your own purpose. Get out of everybody else's business and do what you are called to do.
Absolutely. Sheree, I gotta tell you that this has really, really, really been a blessing. I want to tell you though personally that I love you.
Oh,
So
thank
proud of
you.
everything that you're doing right now and have done. Thank you for everything that you have blessed us with. Thank you for all of the people, all of the amazing artists that you have written for. Um, just thank you so much for you being you. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
And we wishing you more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing. and everything that you're going to be doing in the future. And you know that you are a part of the Vibe family now. So
Yes.
we got you. We got your back.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me and listening to my story.
Absolutely. It's the Vibe Show 97.9 with the one and only the Queen, Sherree Patrice. Y'all make sure that y'all go and get that new single, Sweet Love. Video is out right now. So we gotta go get the single, then we gotta go over to YouTube, we gotta subscribe to the channel, and we gotta also go and run those numbers up on the video along with the rest of the music that's on the platform as well. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody who poured up on the live stream tonight, man. We really, really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for showing my special guest so much love. Shout out to everybody who's listening on the airwaves right now, man.
Yay.
We appreciate y'all as well. Y'all know my slogan: peace, love, and blessings. Let me say that again. More love, less hate makes the world a better place. Me and Sherree are out of here. Vibe Show.